We're going to roll the tape on a couple of different topics here. Dave, what's the standard the Seahawks defense needs to be held to under Mike Macdonald, in your opinion?
Funny you should ask that, Bob.
Just thought of it just now.
Over the weekend, there was a clip that I heard from 49ers defensive coordinator Steve Wilks after the Lions game, and I thought about Mike Macdonald right away, but he's not the only one that thinks the way I do.
I think you really have to ask them individually. Collectively, as a team, I can tell you, as a defense, it's unacceptable. All right, and we talked about that. I wish I could tell these guys on play 4, on play 27, this is what's going to happen. You don't know. So we got to make sure that we play every down as if it's going to be the difference in the ball game. And you could see on those two particular plays, it wasn't to our standard. And those guys understand and know that. And quite honestly, it was embarrassing.
Steve Wilks, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, obviously, and what he's talking about, because I instantly went to play 4 and play number 27, and those were both touchdowns. Remember the first drive was like 4 plays, and play number 4 was the 42-yarder by Jamison Williams, where it was like a reverse. And then the other one was a 15-yard touchdown by Jahmyr Gibbs, play number 27. On both of those plays, San Francisco 49er defenders were yogging. And I was like, wow. I mean, I felt like when I was watching those plays, and it wasn't as bad as this, but remember the play where there was like 5 missed tackles against Pittsburgh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody remembers that. There was lots of jogging in that. And so just the standard, I think, for good defenses, and that's what the Baltimore Ravens have, is that you're just hustling on every single play. And on one of those plays, Chase Young, he was terrible. He jogged, and somebody wrote about it, but yeah, he jogged all. It was a play away from him. And then you see, if he would have gone full speed the entire time, he would have made a tackle on like the 5-yard line because it took off downfield. Like I said, it was a 15-yard carry, but it was just interesting to me because Steve Wilks is pointing this out as these are 2 very specific plays where we weren't ourselves. We weren't running as hard as we possibly can, and you just never heard that from last year from the Seahawks, that there wasn't that standard being held there. And I think for Clint Hurt, he had so many other things going on about that defense that it was like something he didn't really get to. But man, if you look at how the Ravens play, and you look at how the 49ers play, 2 of the better defenses in the league, it's the very minimum you hustle on every single play. And, and a lot of times you think, and I've experienced this, where there was a couple of plays where if I would have ran hard all the way to the ball instead of pulling up and kind of watching the game, ball pops up in the air, I could have had it.
Yeah.
And that, that really gets to you at some point. And so I think for Chase Young, it was kind of embarrassing there, but I just think it points out to the value of hustle and over scheme. It's like if you're able, I don't care how complicated your scheme is, if it's bogging guys down, it's just gonna make it worse. So I mean, I think what we're gonna see out of this defense from Mike Macdonald and possibly Leslie Frazier, you're gonna see a defense where everybody knows what they're doing, and so that frees you up to just fly around the field and go make plays. And it was kind of interesting to see a really good defense like the 49ers have those kinds of plays. The thing that stood out to me though was Steve Wilks pointing it out.
Well, in Shanahan, yesterday we read his quotes. Remember, he said something along the lines of, guys were looking around waiting for somebody else to make the tackle.
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of what it looked like. It was like, okay, he's got that. And then, they even, like Dre Greenlaw, he had a missed tackle on the 42-yard run. So, those kinds of things happen. But when you see guys just kind of, even Bosa, and I'm sure those guys – you just got ripped on that one, and I'll bet you I've had coaches that will, on a play like that, they'll just run it back and forth like 10 times and not say anything except, maybe every once in a while he'll say, watch yourself. Tell me if you're going as hard as you possibly can. Is this you as a player? Do you want to put this highlight film out here into the NFL, because everybody sees it?
You're going, please stop replaying that. Please stop.
Oh my God. I got ran over in the middle of the field in Philadelphia by what was his name? Byers. All I know is his nickname was
Keith
Tank.
Byers.
His nickname was Tank.
And it felt like a tank?
He put his helmet between the 9 and the 2, and I went flat on my back. And the first thing when I hit the ground was like, that's going to look really bad on film.
He's going to replay
I'm
this.
going to be
and
embarrassed by that. And that's the thing, man. You should be embarrassed. It's, you put that stuff out for other linebackers to watch, other defensive linemen to watch. I mean, yeah, absolutely. There's a pride thing there, and I think that's what we're going to see next year out of Mike McDonald's defense.